Coming up next on a special Artbeat edition of Arizona Horizon, we'll take a look at an event that combines man's best friend with the arts. We'll also learn how the business community is helping artists achieve financial success. And we'll look at the unique styles of a local dance company. Those stories next on this special edition of Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to this special Artbeat edition of Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. We begin tonight's program with a look at two things that people really love: art and dogs. Scottsdale held its first art walk in the downtown area 39 years ago, and as such, the event has often been described as America's original art walk. Indeed, most every week you can find people strolling along Main Street and Marshall Way enjoying the galleries. But some extra feet hit the pavement this past summer. Producer Christina Estes and photographer Scott Olson explain.
Calvin Charles Gallery is a mix of contemporary and Asian.
And a mix of human and canine.
We love dogs.
That's why the galleries on Marshall Way designated 4 nights for their four-legged friends.
Normally for August, this time of year is very quiet. Now that the galleries have come together and celebrate and have this art walk, a special art walk the dog, we've noticed a lot more traffic, a lot more excitement on the street.
Inside the Bezalel Gallery,
we're really trying to reach out and sort of break that stereotype that everything is so pretentious down here in Scottsdale.
it's kind of tough being snooty when a dog's licking your face.
Thank you for kisses. She likes to kiss me a lot.
Thanks to Jerry Schenker's group Rescue Paws, new puppies are sharing space with new artists.
Well, we're trying to get our dogs adopted because we get them from the pound, and we try to save them from being killed. We adopted like 4 already.
Making new friends isn't the only perk. Visitors can browse and buy unique animal art, everything from metal sculptures to small sketches to huge paintings.
This is Elvis. He is a bull terrier, and he is one of my commissions of late. This is the biggest commission I've ever done so far. It's 5 foot by 5 foot on gallery wrap canvas.
Quite a leap from April Holland's early artwork, drawing cats and dogs at the age of 4.
My first memory as a child was a box of puppies, and I had picked out our dog, and she lived to be 21 years old. And she was really more like a family member than a dog.
Before the first brushstroke, April likes to meet her subjects.
He's a very people-friendly dog, and that's pretty much, the inspiration for this piece. He's just walking up to you, and he's just like, please stop, hang out with me for a while.
She says the key to painting pets is the same as painting people.
Their eyes are the windows to their soul, and if I can get their eyes and I can get that sparkle in their eyes, then I've got their dog. And I've never once had a complaint about that. They can always see their dog come through, and I think if you can capture the eyes, you've got the dog. I mean, it doesn't matter what I do with the rest of it. The eyes really are what speak to you.
Art Walk the Dog doesn't just get locals into galleries, it also gets tourists talking.
It's an artsy town. I figured that's just what you guys did.
After visiting the Grand Canyon, Mike Wilhoit and his wife headed to Scottsdale with friends.
Oh, there's some great stuff. We lost our wives in one of the galleries for about 30 minutes as we sat and watched the dogs walk by.
They can watch again in April when the Scottsdale Gallery Association hosts its first Bon Appetit Art Walk with special treats for Fido and friends.
Expand your horizon with the Arizona Horizon website. To get there, go to azpbs.org. Click on the Arizona Horizon tab at the top of the screen. Once there, you can access many features, watch interviews by clicking on the video button. You can also find out what's on Arizona Horizon for the coming week. If you would like an RSS feed, a podcast, or want to buy a video, that's all on the website too. Want to learn about specific topics like immigration or the legislature? You can visit our special web sections. Show your support for Arizona Horizon at azpbs.org/Arizona Horizon.
The Arizona Commission on the Arts received a one-time budget allocation of $1 million from the state legislature last session. The money is set to be used to support existing statewide grants and to develop new programs targeting innovative arts initiatives. Robert Booker is the Arts Commission's executive director. Good to see you again.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
One-time budget allocation, $1 million. How big a deal is that?
A big deal. It was the first time the agency was not cut in the last 5 years, and it was the first time the agency received a boost in funding. So it was a major deal, and it was a bill that was passed by bipartisan issues. So we had a great lead in Senator Farley. We had folks on both sides of the aisle really helping push this through. The money came from the Rainy Day Fund. It's the interest off of that fund. And the idea was we should put those dollars to work, and what better way to put them to work than increase the opportunities that the arts industry has for gaining our economy across Arizona.
So no impact on the general fund, interest off the Rainy Day Fund?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The impact on your grant making. Talk to us about grant making, the process, and what this does.
Sure. We took 70% of that $1 million and put it right into our annual grant making program, which goes out to arts organizations across the state. And we found that these organizations are part of the economic recovery of Arizona. They're part of the arts and education programs of Arizona. And we needed to reinforce their strength with a bit more money to really help them move through this economy. They were hit hard, and in many cases had to cut staff, had to cut programming. And so we are now in a recovery mode with the arts industry in Arizona, and a solid recovery mode. And these dollars did help to bring that about. And we, again, have to go back next year and try to capture the dollars again. But it's interesting to think that only $1 million can have the impact that it did across the state.
Let's talk about some of the new programs that this $1 million will help fund. The Community Catalyst grants. What are we talking about
Well,
here?
we have two new programs. Community Catalyst is all about partnerships. The idea that two partners can do better than one. And so this is a program that enables nonprofit arts organizations to partner with a local business, with the Chamber of Commerce, with Tourism Visitors Bureau, with a social service group in their community to make an impact on that community, a positive impact on that community. And so it's all about partnerships. And we're also focused on small and rural communities as well. So we're really pushing this out to our smaller communities across the state.
Explain an enriching arts program to a community under 100,000 or so. Give me a description of what that could be.
It could be a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce to bring tourists to that community. It could be a partnership with the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Clubs to work on a safe park initiative. It could be a project working with a school system or with an elder care facility, providing arts and education in partnership with that. So it could be about safe streets, safe parks, taking care of our seniors. It could be taking care of our community. All of those things that arts and business can do together.
And the other new program, the other biggie here, Arizona Art Talk? Is that
Arizona Art Tank.
Tank. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
And it's a great program. It is built after the Shark Tank show, quite
Sure.
frankly.
Yes.
And so what we're challenging our arts organizations to do is to come up with something that's innovative, that's new, that's creative, and they will present those programs, those ideas, to panels, local panels in 5 communities in Arizona. And that local panel of sharks, as you may say, will make the decision right there in the evening. And we'll also have an audience that will also get a small vote in awarding one of the tiny grants that go out in that. But the idea is that our arts organizations have been under fire since the economy went down. You know, they've been, really looking forward to just making the budget, keeping the things going, offering the programs they need. And quite frankly, they're kind of hunkered down. And so we believe and know that the arts are one of the most creative aspects of our community. And so why not encourage arts organizations to think outside the box, to think of something exciting?
Well, with that in mind, the criteria for this Art Tank,
Yes.
you got judges up here, they're all kind of looking and trying to pick and choose. What are they picking and choosing from?
They're picking and choosing from applications that come into the agency from nonprofit arts organizations that are planning a project that is innovative, new, we're calling it also business unusual. The idea that maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do with your arts organization in relationship to your community. Maybe there's a connection you've always wanted to make, or an idea for self-sustaining work, or an idea that may challenge the assumptions that people in your community have about your art form, and a way to develop more audience. All of those would be eligible.
It seems to me that all of this is reflecting a little bit of a change now in how arts organizations are funded, how art is distributed. I mean, this is forged by fire, it sounds like.
It's a huge change. With the reductions of the Arts Commission, remember that we had a $20 million endowment that was swept. We had a $2.3 million annual appropriation that is no longer existent. So when you're poor, you better be hardworking. And so what we decided is we turned our grant program upside down and focused on how our nonprofit arts organizations are serving Arizonans, how they're handling public dollars, so making sure that they're fiscally sound, and how they're relating to their own community. And those are the three criteria we used this last year in this new normal. Because we believe that the arts industry has a huge impact on Arizona, and it's our job to help move them forward and help keep them secure.
Real quickly, we have about 30 seconds left. This one-time allocation, what are the odds of it being a 2, 3, 4-time allocation?
I sure hope it can be. We will work hard with our friends at the legislature, our governor's office. She was supportive of this last initiative, so we thank her for that. Again, it's a bipartisan issue. It's an issue that serves Arizonans, and it's an issue that helps us be mindful of our future.
Bob, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Great to be with you, sir.
Get the inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an 8 Insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the 8 Insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today.
A program matching business professionals with arts organizations is being relaunched by Arizona Citizens for the Arts. The effort brings together business professionals with arts organizations for skills-based consulting purposes. I talked about the program with Robin Hanson, a business volunteer for Arizona Citizens for the Arts. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
It's so nice to be joining you as well.
Let's get a better definition of business volunteer for the arts.
So a Business Volunteers for the Arts program matches, just like you said, it matches organizations in the arts and culture world with corporations who have skilled volunteers. So it's really about connecting arts and business is what the motto is.
What kind of most common needs you're hearing from arts organizations?
It's really interesting. The needs that I'm hearing from arts organizations are sort of their wish list. You know, they would love to be able to do something, but they just don't have either the time or the talent, the resources within their organizations. So a couple of things I've been asked about is, could I find someone to do a cost-benefit analysis for the last 3 years of their programs so that they know which ones bring in funding, which ones might sort of need to go away that aren't really making them any money, and which ones are spectacular. And the executive director simply doesn't have the time to sit down with the spreadsheets on her desk, so she said, can you find me an accountant that can come in and do that?
Is this the kind of thing that arts organizations are increasingly concerned about? Was it something that in the past they had people on staff that could handle this sort of thing? Talk about the need and why this is even required out there.
I think that there's a misconception that, not necessarily that some folks have, is that you've got arts organizations and they do great things doing artwork, but they forget that behind the stage is a lot of business work that's going on. And I think that they have been so hard hit by the economy that there really isn't simply the time or the resources to do some of these pieces. For example, one of the groups wants to know how to make a more robust volunteer program. So to be able to take a staff person who's probably doing something else and something else and something else and saying, by the way, in your spare time, could you develop a volunteer program for us, just really isn't going to happen. Where there are people in the business community who know how to develop a volunteer program.
And so who are these people in the business community?
Well, I managed a volunteer program for a corporation here in the Valley for almost 20 years. So I've gone to my peers, folks at Intel, folks at Salt River Project, folks from Arizona Public Service, and said to them, I know you have great volunteers. I know you have great skilled folks in your business departments who've probably never thought that they had a skill that a nonprofit could use. It's not every day that someone goes into a marketing department and says, hey, we've got this great volunteer opportunity for you. You're not going to be packing lunch boxes, you're going to be helping an organization put together a marketing plan for the next year. So that's the kind of volunteer we're out there looking for.
So you're looking at marketing plans, you're looking at strategic plans, developing an employee handbook, I would imagine?
All of those pieces. And we have folks who are, I've got a couple people sort of in the queue. We just launched yesterday. And so we've got a couple people that we're sort of priming the pump with who have come to us and said, we would love to do this.
Yeah.
And they're active employees. It's not as if it's retirees or someone who's sort of at the end of their career. They're people who are saying, I have a skill, I'd like to share it, and what do I need to do?
Well, I was going to ask you that. How is the matching done, and who makes the match?
I get to make the match.
Oh, good for you.
Yes, I know. I feel really special about that. It's really sort of I think of it in terms of doing dual recruiting. I'm recruiting volunteers to be consultants, and then I'm recruiting arts organizations who are looking for consultants. So it's that Venn diagram where the sweet spot's right in the middle, and we can find folks who've got the time to meet the needs that the organization has. We expect the projects to take somewhere between 90 days to maybe 12 months. If you're doing a strategic plan, you sort of want to see it through the entire piece.
So these aren't necessarily open-ended then? They do
No,
have,
not at all. We want them to have a finish date
Yes.
because I think that idea of a professional coming into an organization, it's not, I mean, they're getting someone who's helping them do something the same as if they had to go out and hire someone.
Well, so are you recruiting here, or do business groups and do arts organizations, do they have to apply in some way?
They do. They can go to our website at azcitizensforthearts.org, click on Get Connected, and there are two applications. One, if you want to be a consultant, just what we call the folks who are volunteers, or two, if you want to get a consultant. And we've tried to make the applications as painless as possible. I interviewed 6 arts organizations in the last probably 6 weeks, and 4 of them, when we got there, said, here are our job descriptions. We've been waiting for you. Here's what we're looking for.
Wow.
And so they've got a stock of positions that if someone came along and said, hey, how would you like some free help?
This program was on hiatus, I understand, for a year. What was that all about?
It was with the Arts and Business Council, had it for many years. And there had funding, when funding dried up for all kinds of things, it dried up for the Arts and Business Council. They had 2 great programs they ran, Business on Board and Business Volunteers for the Arts. Arizona Citizens for the Arts took over. Business Volunteers for the Arts and Business on Board went to the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits. This year, Wells Fargo and their Neighborhood Lift Foundation grant came in, and Arizona Citizens for the Arts took advantage of that foundation money, went out and hired me to come in and run this Business Volunteers for the Arts program.
I would imagine overall, when the economy does well, businesses are a little looser and more free, I guess, with their folks, or is that necessarily the case?
I don't think so. I think because when I go in to talk to a business, I'm talking to them about things like succession planning and how a volunteer can develop the skills that they need to move up the ladder through volunteering. I'm talking about leadership development. It could be someone that you're putting on a fast track in your organization, but you want them to have experience outside of your organization. So there are some great pieces of leadership development that not everyone thinks of when you're talking about a volunteer, but you're talking about a skilled volunteer. I mean, this is someone who has 3 to 5 years experience in their field. So I think that there's a real opportunity. I also think there's a value in the independent sector, gives us a value for what volunteering is worth. These volunteers aren't the $21, $22 an hour volunteer. I mean, these are people who, on average, the Taproot Foundation tells us, is about $125 an hour. So the value is both to the organization to be able to provide that pro bono service, but we're also really excited about being able to say to the arts organization, this is what you got in almost an in-kind donation.
Yes. Yes, and see where that leads to other things.
Right, exactly.
Real quickly, one more time, give us that website address for more information.
ArizonaCitizensForTheArts.org.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. This was great.
We want to hear from you. Submit your questions, comments, and concerns via email at ArizonaHorizon@asu.edu.
We wrap up tonight's Art Beat special with a look at a unique local dance group. Scorpius Dance Theater recently became the first Arizona company invited to the Booking Dance Festival, part of the world-renowned Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Producer Christina Estes and photographer Stephen Snow introduce us to the Scorpius Dance Theater.
A little more closer to each other. I felt like you guys were separated. I'm the director and choreographer and founder of Scorpius Dance Theater. It is my baby.
Lisa Starry's baby was born in 1999.
I was focusing on my teaching career, and it was really hard to go to rehearsals. I just felt like really I also needed to do my own work. So I gathered a bunch of friends and said, do you want to start this company? And they all said yes, and that's how we started.
What they started was pretty unusual. Performances packed with beauty, emotion, and diversity.
We have such a wide array of technical dancers. They're hip hop, they're ballet, they're contemporary, they're acrobatic, you know. So I love having all of those art forms combined into one dance company or dance theater.
Gary Sisson took his aerial artistry to Scotland. Water Dreams was one of 2 Scorpius performances at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe.
It's amazing you get to fly. You totally are suspended off of the ground just by wrapping yourself up in this piece of fabric and floating around and being twirled in the air and then taking a risk and taking that breath and falling all the way down.
There was a review from The Scotsman, which is a huge newspaper there. It's like the New York Times in New York City. And we were mentioned, both my pieces were mentioned in there, and that was the icing on the cake.
Starry says the exposure can lead to teaching opportunities and tours, like their first big paid gig coming up in Helena, Montana.
They're paying us a nice lump sum, and I have to budget that because you have to pay for your airfare, and then the rest of the money will go to performers, your crew, and food stipend and stuff like that. So it's exciting.
They'll perform a vampire tale. After 10 years in Phoenix, Starry says it's become a cult classic.
We've marketed and called it like the Nutcracker of Halloween.
It's about a young woman who falls into a clan of vampires and then falls for the king, which angers the queen. Assistant director Nicole Olson is the queen.
It's my favorite place to be. It's the best high, is to be on stage in front of people.
It's not just different styles that set Scorpius apart.
We can do 1 to 2 to 3 week runs, which is really rare for a dance company because most dance companies will work for 6 months on a piece and perform one night at a large theater, and that's it. And if you come, you come. If you didn't, you missed out. So we have been able to develop a really big and diverse audience because we perform longer throughout the year.
You know, we want Joe Schmo off of the sidewalk to come in and take something away from our show, whether it be the athleticism, the subtle movement, the amazing lights, the amazing music. You know, we want anybody to take away anything, one thing at least, from one of our shows.
Lisa believes that, you know, you should have an audience leave saying, I wish I could have seen 10 more minutes of that, instead of saying, gosh, I wish that would have ended 10 minutes ago.
Starry's baby is celebrating its 14th year, a challenging time for any parent.
It seems like it's been a long time, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of financial sacrifices.
But Starry says the payoff comes with every performance.
Seeing all these people come and smile or cry and clap really loud, that just makes my day.
And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us on this special Art Beat edition of Arizona Horizon. You have a great evening.
If you have comments about Arizona Horizon, please contact us at one of the addresses on your screen. Your comments may be used on a future edition of Arizona Horizon. Thank you. Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.